starlit sky, our love's secret line, like leaves we soar so high. Beneath the moonlight, soft touch your hand in mine, gets me every time. Lost in the city lights, our love's electric ride, you make me feel alive. I know July is gone, you make me feel at home in the neon glow. As the leaves change color, I dive into you. When summer's fading, there's nothing to do but bask in the glory of the winter sun. Maybe this is the season of love.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for coming back and seeing me and the little Desi. I tell you what, we missed you this week and I hope you had a good week. I am getting ready to show you next week some of the outfits that I'm planning on wearing next month for my son's wedding and all the occasions that will be, centered around that, like a brunch and a shower. And well, because I've lost some weight, I'm down about 2 sizes. I had to sort of start from scratch here. So I can't wait next week to show you some of the outfits that I've planned, and I hope you like them. And what I wanted to do today is show you some of the jewelry that I'm going to be wearing. It's not fancy, but it's beautiful. And so I wanted to do that. And the other thing I wanted to do was talk about a couple subjects that, well, it's totally geared towards women our age and the things that we're going through right now. And there are some things that you asked me, and I really want to give you some really good, honest answers to what's going on. Love understated jewelry. How about you? Even when I was a very young woman, I would always look to like the royalty in England to sort of guide me, like, well, what would be classy? Not big honking earrings, but something really classy and beautiful, minimalistic in a way. And I've always loved jewelry like that. And so about 9 years ago, that's when I discovered Ana Luisa, and they supported my channel. Even back then when I had like no subscribers, they sent me 2 necklaces and I was hooked, because not only are the necklaces understated, classy, beautiful, they last, they look just as beautiful. This necklace I got 9 years ago and it looks just as beautiful now as it did then. So the quality is there, and just having them once a year support my channel, and I get to show what I have bought from Ana Luisa. It just makes me very happy. Next month at my son's wedding, I'm going to be wearing a beautiful top gown. And I thought, what would be more beautiful than green jade earrings with that and a very understated jade necklace? So I got this one from Ana Luisa. Ana Luisa is not a company from China. They are a company out of New York. Every piece is handcrafted. They have the most amazing artists and designers that work with Ana Luisa jewelry, and that's what I love about it so much. No 2 pieces are alike. And the uniqueness of the designs, every year there's something different. They have even asked me over the years to contribute to some design ideas. necklaces that I would love to wear. And one of the universal symbols of women this year is wearing the heart necklace. And I have 2 hearts by Luisa that I love. I'll show you close-ups. And every time I wear my heart necklace, you always say, where can I get that? So down below, I have a coupon code for you where you can get a discount on any jewelry that you might see. Their earrings are unbelievable, but they're having this summer sale, and the jewelry is just beautiful. And if you get a few pieces, let me know, and let me know how much you like them. But I want to show you right now just a few close-ups of this beautiful jewelry. I am 69 years old. I will be 70 in January 2025. I am 5'1". I used to be almost 5'4", but I don't know. I don't know what happened. I shrank. And the thing I didn't realize is when you shrink and you stay the same weight, yeah, you don't look the same. That's for sure. I can't believe I got this question last week, but someone said, do you have a husband or a boyfriend? It's like, there's about 500 videos that might answer that question. I thought it was so cute. But no, I do not have a husband or a boyfriend. The closest thing that I have to that is my dear friend Hal. He is like a husband to me. I mean, every time we hang out together, we ask each other for a divorce at least 5 times. Do I have an active life? Yes, I do. I have a very active life. I can't sit still, so I am always out filming, or I am out visiting with my family, or I'm just walking downtown. That's what's so great about living in my new little town, is downtown is 2 blocks away. So I'm in hog heaven here. And I love to go to thrift stores, and I love to go to restaurants with friends. So yes, I'm always busy. I'm always doing something in my garden. I can lose a whole day in my garden. So I am always busy. I read an article about how a woman lives her life, and they said that the pace of her life will duplicate the pace of her mother's life. That is not the case for me. My mother loved to sit and listen to music or watch movies, and I used to love that when I was younger, but now I just have to go, go, go. So that's me. Do I consider myself more of a sexy, passionate woman? Or do I think more of myself as a spiritual woman, a dreamer, someone who, well, does not act on her desires? Well, now there's a question and a half. I would definitely say that the space that I'm at right now in my life, I am more spiritual than probably anything else. But I've also become quite emotional. And I was, in the video, you see some footage of a beautiful tree and clouds that look like mountains and flowers swaying. And when I was filming that in the field, I started to cry. And I said to myself, when I saw those clouds and I saw the sun hit the leaves of those flowers, I thought to myself, I love my life. I just love my life. And suddenly I felt like I was saying hello and goodbye to a loved one in a split second. It was so intense. There was great love of the earth and of nature, and how grateful I was to be alive. I never used to have feelings like that. To be really honest, I suppose if I wasn't so afraid of losing my freedom by falling in love, maybe I would be more sexy. Maybe I would be more passionate. Maybe I'd be buying that leopard lingerie and doing fashion shows. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think anybody would want to see that, but you never know. How kind are you? Are you kind to yourself? Would you say that you are more skilled building yourself up, or are you more skilled at tearing yourself down? What do you have more experience with? What are you really good at? I used to be really good at tearing myself down. I used to be so good at waking up the next morning from something I did the day before and tearing it apart, and instead of feeling proud, I would feel ashamed. I was really good at tearing myself down. Nothing was ever good enough. I don't have the luxury to tear myself down anymore. I build myself up. I try to. It doesn't always work. There are bad days. But I can't do that. I can't ever insult myself. I can't ever be unkind to myself. I have so many flaws. I have so many faults. Yeah, okay. Next, move on. I can't dwell on that. I love so deeply the people that I have in my life. And for me to be so unkind to myself, I'm being rude to someone they love. Maybe that doesn't sound like it makes any sense, but it makes sense to me. I see myself differently. And for me, the key has been stop thinking about myself. Don't waste your time, building me up or tearing me down. Don't do that. Just live. Live in the moment and live for other things, other people, other situations. Get out of your own way. How do I feel if I have to walk into a room full of strangers? How do you feel? I used to feel apprehensive. And I remember I would usually always think, is this an open bar? Because I really need a few drinks before I can really talk to people. That's just how it was. I was just very, almost shy-like. But if I could get, maybe just a few glasses of wine in me, then I could relax and I could be the life of the party. And I would pay a high price for that behavior the next day. Just like, oh gosh, why did I talk so much? Or so it was just sort of a mess. Now, when I walk into a room full of strangers, it's amazing. I mean, I'm usually the oldest person in the room, and that makes me feel really powerful. There's this amazing thing called crystallized intelligence, which means odds are I'm probably the smartest person in the room. I mean, crystallized intelligence, that means that every time I have learned something in my life, my brain has recorded it and I can access that now quicker than I ever could. Maybe I don't learn new things as fast, but I do have that crystallized intelligence. And just knowing that information, it makes me feel powerful. And that's just brand new. I mean, everybody's human. And I'm thinking about next month, I'm going to walk into a room where there's going to be 150 people, and I'm going to know probably about 30 of them, 40, and I won't know the rest. And I know I will be thinking about my hair and my dress. It's a wedding. I want my son to be proud of me. But am I afraid? No, I'm not afraid. Would I have been afraid 20 years ago? I would have been terrified. Absolutely terrified. Because deep down, I would have felt I just wasn't good enough. I just couldn't measure up. My dress wouldn't be right. My hair wouldn't be right. I'd talk too loud. I'd talk too soft. I'd drink too much. I wouldn't drink enough. Always something. One of the best things about getting older for me is that I feel so much stronger. I've worked so hard to have a good life, and I'm going to have it. I'm going to take it. I'm going to grab it, and I'm going to run with it. So nobody, no stranger in this room is going to be able to touch my mood. Somebody asked me, have you ever done a video that got you in trouble? Oh yeah. Oh boy. Oh yes. Oh yes. I did a video that got me in trouble with a lot of you all out there. I did a video that got me in trouble with me. I used poor judgment in making the video, that's for sure. And I did a couple videos that ended my relationship with a man that I was dating. So yeah, I've definitely had my share of videos that got me in trouble. The one that you had such a dramatic reaction to was I attempted to try to do a video on clarifying some of the things that I said that I knew had offended some of you. And in the video, I went through each thing that sometimes you would find offensive, and I tried to explain it. And at the end of the video, I said, well, from now on, I'm going to try to think a little bit more before I talk, like that could ever happen. And that I would try to edit myself. And oh my goodness, you would have thought I said, I'm coming to each one of your houses and I'm going to shoot your dog. I mean, you did not like that. You did not want that. And you said, that's one of the reasons you come here, because I pretty much don't have a filter and you don't want that to change. I didn't know that. So I decided that, yes, there is a risk for me to just pontificate every week on what it's like to be a woman my age, what it's like to be a woman in my station in life. But you don't want me to edit. You don't want me to lie. You don't want me to sugarcoat it. You don't want me to script it. You want me to just wing it. And I'm like, okay. There's always going to be a time where I say something that perhaps might offend you, or the way I say something is offensive. But after all these years, you probably know me pretty well. So if you know my heart, you would know that maybe I made a mistake in the words I used, but I was coming from a good place, because I'm not a cruel person. I'm not a judgmental person. I have a great capacity to love and no capacity or tolerance at all to hate. And when you really know that about a person, you cut them some slack. So maybe that's why you have written me a blank check on this channel, the Littlepoet Society here, to say whatever the hell I want. And we'll sort it out from there. What's the secret? What's the secret of being a very happy woman after 65? What is that magic formula that makes us so happy? For me personally, I try to stay as positive as I can. Realistically, that's not always possible, but I try to live a very positive life no matter what. And even though my mother suffered from depression and was very poor, she always would find great joy in little things. She could have the saddest day, and yet she'd go to Dollar Tree and get some kitty placemats and nail it to her wall and be happy. I mean, she just could find joy in almost anything. She could also cry for days on end. But she could explore joy, and she did try to be as positive as she could. I picked that up from my mother, and I never feel sorry for myself. I always try to keep positive. I always say to myself, well, it could have been worse. I'm not a person who has a lot of grievances. I'm not a person that looks back on my life and gets angry about people or situations. I'm grateful. I know I had a terrible start in life. I had a terrible abuse and very sad things, tragic things that happened to me. But I also had wonderful things to happen to me. I had adults in my life that were inspirational to me when I was growing up. I had moments of love in my life that I'm so grateful for. So I have every reason to feel grateful and positive as much as I can. My favorite quote isn't from Thoreau or Robert Frost or Sylvia Plath. No. My favorite quote that has helped me the most in life is from a movie I watched 43 years ago, a comedy movie with Dudley Moore in it. And the quote is, "Some people drink because they're poets, and other people drink because they're not." And that quote has helped me so much in my life in so many different ways. Some people drink because they're poets. I always thought that, well, I knew I looked at life differently. I knew that the life I chose for myself wasn't always wise, wasn't smart, wasn't like everybody else. I knew I had so many challenges. But I could hang on to the songs I would write, or the books I read, or the books I would dream that I would write. I led a very unconventional life, and I beat myself up for that over and over and over again. Why don't you get a regular job? Why don't you go back to school? Why don't you become a lawyer or something? I mean, why do you always have your head in the clouds and you always got your notebook and you're sitting in the field writing poetry? What is wrong with you? I felt that way all my life. And then I realized I'm so unhappy, and I'm so unhappy. And maybe I'm having that drink because I'm different. I feel things differently. I see things differently. And all that emotion that I feel inside has to come out somewhere in a song or in a video or in a photograph. And it's okay. I stopped beating myself up. And that quote has always reminded me, hey, just give yourself some slack. And then the flip side, some people drink because they're not poets. They never have been, and they never will be, and they will never understand that world. And that's okay. It made me realize, stop expecting things. Stop expecting people to be something that they're not. Love them for what they are. You'll be much happier. So that quote, that simple quote from a silly comedy movie, has helped me through the darkest times of my life.
I thought of myself as a broken woman for much of my life, but as I aged, I came to embrace being different. I didn't fit in because I didn't want to fit in. I couldn't. I waited all my life for that knight in shining armor to save me, but in the end, I had to save myself.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. I loved every second of it. And if you get a chance, down below, could you maybe share what you think is the secret of a happy life for you? It'd just be wonderful to read what you think. Please have yourself a wonderful, happy, safe, brand new week. And when you're done with your week, come back and see me and Desi, okay? I got some dresses I got to show you. Have a great week. We'll be here